Hollywood may have desensitized the masses to the concept of demonic possession, who now dismiss it as fiction, but there are actually many true exorcism stories out there. In fact, quite a few real cases inspired many of those popular horror films. The case of Robbie Mannheim was the real-life inspiration for the film The Exorcist. Robbie was just 14 years old when he suffered from demonic possession that was believed to have been brought on by playing with the Ouija board. Sometime in the 1940s, Robbie's aunt bought the Ouija board for him, and after her death, he attempted to contact her, but something else answered him instead. It began with a haunting inside the home. Strange noises, footsteps, and any religious icons inside the house were thrown around. Soon the attacks became directed at Robbie, and scratches appeared all over his body. At some point, the creature gained access and fully possessed him. He began levitating and speaking languages he didn't actually know. The Roman Catholic Church was contacted to investigate, and a priest was granted permission to perform an exorcism, but one wasn't enough. It took over 30 rituals and multiple priests to expel the demon from Robbie's body, but eventually it worked. Witnesses reported a strong smell of sulfur permeating the air in completion of the final ritual. It was at St. Michael's Mission in Natal, South Africa, 1906, when 16-year-old Clara Germana Sella began behaving erratically. She began demonstrating signs of clairvoyance. Somehow she knew intimate secrets and the transgressions of people she didn't even know. She was also suddenly able to understand German, French, and Polish, although she hadn't been exposed to these languages. Clara also grew increasingly violent, especially in the presence of holy objects. Allegedly, she beat and hurled nuns across the room. Clara actually confessed that she made a pact with Satan, which allowed him to take over her body. Upon hearing this, Catholic priest Father Horner Erasmus and the director of St. Michael's Mission, Reverend Mansuetti, got together to begin performing exorcism rites on her. Initially, Clara, or more accurately, the demon inside her, reacted violently to this. At one point, it even knocked the Bible out of the priest's hands and tried to choke him to death. The exorcism went on for 2 days before the girl was finally healed. A man named George Lukens claimed he was possessed by 7 demons, and it would eventually take 7 priests to remove them. Lukens spent 18 years growling and howling at people while his body physically deteriorated. He often had seizures and kept insisting he was the devil in a tone of voice that didn't belong to him. His longtime friend, Sarah Barber, sent a letter begging a local priest to help. Finally, June 13, 1778, 7 priests gathered together to perform an exorcism at the Temple Church in Bristol, England. As the priests prayed over him, one of the entities inside of him barked and hissed, shouting that the torment would only get worse. 7 demonic personalities made their presences known to the priest throughout the exorcism, with the last one screaming that he was the devil himself. In the end, all 7 of the demons were banished back to hell. The case of Anna Eklund is pretty notorious. While she was raised Catholic, her father and aunt practiced witchcraft, and it's believed they were the source of the curse that befell her. It was in Iowa in 1912 when 14-year-old Anna began acting possessed. She actually refused to step foot in a church and seemed genuinely terrified of holy objects. She had her first exorcism that year, and it seemed to work, but multiple entities made their way back into her. Years went by and multiple exorcisms were performed, but the girl still housed demons. She was put in a convent as a last-ditch effort to cure her, but Anna continued to speak in tongues and demonstrate knowledge of things she couldn't possibly know. She reportedly vomited strange herbs and tobacco. It was also reported that she levitated and clung to the walls of the convent while continuing to undergo multiple exorcism rituals, until finally, at 30 years old, Anna was cured. She left the convent and never displayed any symptoms after 16 years of possession. The famous artist Salvador Dali believed himself to be possessed and had an exorcism performed in 1947. The ritual was performed by a friar and close friend by the name of Gabriele Berardi. The time period in which Dali underwent this religious crisis was when his work left the surreal and took on heavy religious influences. The friar successfully cleared out Dali's demons, and the artist sculpted him a crucifix as a token of his appreciation. The friar allegedly told friends of Dali's gift for the exorcism, and the cross was found in his belongings after his death in 1984. While there is no official documentation proving the exorcism took place, experts have confirmed the crucifix the friar was gifted was in fact the work of Dali.